Hey, this is Hushfield and welcome to my beginner's guide on how to play Ryu in the Street Fighter 6 demo. If you want to skip ahead, check the timestamps in the description below. For returning Street Fighter players, I recommend checking out the section on drive rush mix-ups near the end of the video. This is not intended to be a definitive guide on how to play Ryu, because the final game isn't even out yet. This is specifically to get new players up to speed with Ryu. Now, many of these combos are not the absolutely optimal options, but for the most part they're not much worse, while being a lot easier to perform consistently. Remember, it's a demo. Nobody's good at the game yet, so it's better to do a slightly suboptimal combo and almost never drop it, than attempting an insanely optimized combo that you drop most of the time. Consistency is more important than optimization, at least for now. I categorized the tech in this video based on the difficulty, so 1 star for rookie combos, 2 stars for iron, 3 stars for bronze, 4 stars for silver, and finally 5 stars for gold and up. Now, these last ones are mainly more optimal routes to practice after you're done with everything else in this video. Now, don't take these ratings too literally, especially the SF6 ranks, though they should give you a good understanding of the difficulty of each combo relative to the other tech in this video. Before we get into the guide itself, you really should know how to read combos. Although this is something that used to be mainly associated with anime fighters like Guilty Gear, and not as common in the Street Fighter lingo, I believe that numpad notation is the easiest to understand for beginners. It's standard for all combos to be written out from the player 1 side. Now, look at the numpad on your keyboard. 5 is the center, which means the neutral position. You're not holding any direction. If you were to press 6, you're moving forward to the right. If you hold 4, you're moving back to the left. 2 is down, 1 is down back, and 3 is down forward. This way, you don't have to worry about terms like quarter circle back or half circle forward or any of that. Just look at the numpad and see that 2, 3, 6 is down, down forward, forward. Easy peasy. Now, some of the other things you should know: after each numpad movement there will be a button, LP for light punch, HK for heavy kick, and if you see KK, that just means any 2 kick buttons together. Also, XX means cancel. In what follows, I try to record most of it in character guides so you can see my inputs, but some situations could only be recorded versus CPU, so I can't show the inputs on screen. I also added some examples from streams of Japanese pro players, particularly Mago, Naruo, Fujimura and Tokido. Now those might also show some slight variations in combo starter or route, or different situations in which to use a certain combo. Ryu has several anti-air options. We're going to look at 3 of them: crouch heavy punch, back heavy punch, and medium dragon punch. A crouch heavy punch is an easy input and has fast enough startup to be consistent. However, it does trade sometimes, and will lose outright to things like dive kicks and air fireballs, which, to be fair, are things you don't have to worry about in the demo. Back heavy punch has the same advantages and disadvantages as crouch heavy punch, with the added benefit that if you're walking back or blocking, you're already holding back, so you literally just have to push 1 button to anti-air. SF5 Akuma players will know how easy this is. The DP, which is short for Dragon Punch, is the English name of the Shoryuken special move. Now you perform this by doing forward, down, down forward and punch. There are different versions, but usually the medium punch DP is the anti-air one. This should be the standard anti-air that you aspire to use. And note that even though I put it down as silver difficulty, really consistent DP anti-airs are very difficult, and it might be as high up as diamond level difficulty. So don't worry about it at all if you can't consistently anti-air with DP for now. 2 HP or 4 HP should work just fine. These are some combos that you can perform in the middle of the stage. You'll sometimes see people refer to them as mid-screen or neutral combos. The heavy punch, heavy kick target combo is one of the easiest things you can learn with Ryu. Now, personally, I don't really recommend doing this at all, but if you're brand new to fighting games and you find yourself doing jump heavy punch into sweep, this is at least a little better. crouch medium kick into heavy fireball is Ryu's most basic tool, and it's still used by the very best players in the world. Learn it as a short combo now, but even though you'll start doing more complicated combos as you improve, you will always keep this one in your repertoire, mainly as a quick poke or a way to check your opponent's movement. Now, it might function a little differently in this version of Street Fighter because the drive impact kind of counters this quite heavily, but it's a good tool to practice anyway. If you get crouch medium kick into DP, your inputs are not clean enough. Now, this happens sometimes when you're trying to do this after moving forward and pressing punch too soon. You can try starting from down back, so 1, 2, 3, 6 heavy punch to eliminate this, or you can try pressing punch a little later. This is an easy combo that is useful in many situations. Because forward heavy punch hits twice, this is an easy move to confirm whether your attack hit or if it was blocked. If it hits, continue into crouch medium punch and medium tatsu. Now if you hit it close enough to the opponent, for instance after a successful drive impact, you can add stand light kick for a more optimal combo. Instead of the medium tatsu ender, you can also combo into EX donkey kick, which sets up several different options. So this first one, you do medium tatsu, but you have to remember that you have to delay the tatsu a little bit. You use this option mainly for corner carry and to continue pressing your attack. You can also follow up the EX donkey kick with a heavy DP. This is an option that you would choose for a bit more damage. Now, if you do this, make sure you wait long enough to get the full deep hit. If you do it too soon, you'll just graze the opponent on the way up. And finally, if you really just want to finish off an opponent off of this hit, so what you could do after the EX donkey kick, you just go straight into raw level 3 super. Now, of all the tech in this video, this is the main combo that's pretty unoptimal. Like, you lose out on quite a bit of damage, but doing the correct combo ender, namely heavy DP into the level 3 super, is exponentially more difficult because of the speed of the inputs and the precise timing. So for beginners, I would always recommend the consistency of raw level 3 super here. But if you like spending a lot of time in the lab, you can practice heavy DP into level 3 as well. Watch out that if you do EX donkey kick too close to the corner, the opponent will actually bounce off the wall and over you, making it almost impossible to do a follow-up and putting yourself in the corner. If you're this close, just do the medium tatsu ender instead. By quickly pressing down punch, you get the Denjin install, which will make your next Hadoken or Hashogeki faster and hit in additional time. This install unlocks some extra combos. Now, I added these combos under silver not because they're mechanically more difficult than the bronze combos, but because they require a bit more situational awareness in the game. This is the first combo using the new drive rush system, which is definitely a step up in difficulty from the previous combos. So the way you perform a drive rush cancel is by pressing a button, crouch medium kick in this case, and then immediately double tapping forward to dash out of it. Now if you timed it correctly, you should see a green flash and you'll be able to continue your combo. Cancelling a button into drive rush costs 3 bars of drive gauge, so be mindful of how much meter you have left. Because drive rush changes the properties of the move that follows it, you can sneak a heavy Hashogeki into this combo even if you don't have the Denjin install. You can also do a raw drive rush by holding parry, that's medium punch and medium kick, and immediately dashing out of it by double tapping forward. This only costs 1 bar, so it's a lot more accessible during the game. Focus on the following combos. This sneaky overhead combo is a great way to open up opponents who always crouch block. If your opponent is standing, hit him in the toes. You can cancel the drive rush at any point with a throw without having to press another button first. The following two combos are a more optimal way to use the drive rush cancelling combos, but the timing of 5 HP, 4 HP is really quite tight, so I would not recommend it for newer players. Here's two instances of pros missing the 5 HP, 4 HP link in the span of like 3 minutes, so don't feel bad if it happens to you as well. If you're new to the game, just do the same combos in the corner as you do mid-screen. Remember, however, that if you hit an opponent with a drive impact near the edge of the stage, they will be stuck to the wall for a bit. And while this allows for all sorts of creative combo follow-ups, it also means that some of your basic bread and butter combos will no longer work. For instance, the forward heavy punch, crouching medium punch into the medium tatsu combo, that will not work here. Try doing the crouch heavy punch into medium tatsu or crouch heavy punch into heavy DP instead. If you're starting to become a bit more comfortable with the combos and you have the awareness to see how far from the corner you are, you can start the mid-screen combo but replace the medium tatsu ender with EX tatsu. Even if you're pretty far from the corner, this sucks the opponent back in, so it will not drop. And if you're really close to the corner, you can end the combo with EX Tatsu followed by a heavy DP or even the level 3 super. Here, just as with the mid-screen combos, EX Tatsu into the heavy DP and then the level 3 gives more optimal damage, but it's also a lot more difficult to land consistently. So, how do you put it all together in a match? Here's 4 things that might help you. I know fighting games can be stressful, and I've seen many new players instinctively spend their first few games moving away from the opponent until they've walked all the way back into the corner. At that point, they try to jump and get anti-aired, or they just die outright in the corner. Your basic game plan should be the exact opposite. Walk forward, try to hit your opponent. If you score a knockdown, pressure them as they're trying to get back up. And if you get them in the corner, keep them there. Kill them with drive impact or repeated anti-airs if they keep trying to jump out. When you're both in the middle of the stage and trying to get that first hit or score a knockdown on your opponent, you might not know how to get in. Now try the following 2 options. Drive impact. Since this absorbs some hits from the opponent's moves, you can easily get into a position where you can follow up the initial DI hit with a basic combo. Just know that as the game gets more figured out, people will start reacting more and more consistently to drive impact with a drive impact of their own, so use this one sparingly. You could also use crouching medium kick cancelled into the drive rush. Now this will probably remain a great tool for getting in throughout Street Fighter 6's lifespan. Ryu's crouch medium kick has deceptively long reach, and after the drive rush cancel you have almost infinite possibilities to follow up. For now, just go into one of the basic combos. By spending 1 bar of meter, you can put your opponent in a 3-way guessing situation. Now I don't care how good your opponent is, they are going to guess wrong sometimes, at which point you can take the initiative. Just switch between the following 3 options to keep your opponent guessing. Now the reason this is so annoying and effective is that at a range where you're pretty close to the opponent, just out of range of their normals, they have a lot of different things to think about and react to. I mean, you could try to jump on them and then they have to anti-air in time. You could try to walk forward and hit them with a crouch medium kick, which they have to block crouching or they have to check it with a normal. And now you're adding 3 more things to that mantle stack. But the great thing is that all 3 drive rush options, they look the same at the start. Your opponent will just see and try to react to the big green flash, but then they immediately have to pick one of 3 different reactions to defend correctly. They either have to block standing up, block crouching, or press throw at almost the same time as you. If you switch between the different options in a way that is not too predictable, you can abuse this to keep getting free hits in. This will be particularly strong after you score a knockdown, so try doing this frequently after you hit a medium tatsu, for example. Once you have the basic drive rush combos down, you can extend them a bit more with the following options. Replace crouching medium punch into medium tatsu with crouch medium punch into the EX donkey kick, and then from there go into the bronze combo options. Or you could replace the crouch medium punch into the medium tatsu with crouch medium punch into drive rush, and then for instance go into crouch heavy punch, hashogeki, and then the medium tatsu, and so on and so forth. So basically the silver combo options. With Ryu and Luke as the only two playable characters in the demo, fireball wars are gonna be a real thing. So how do you go about winning these? Well, you could try to overpower your opponent by throwing a projectile that has multiple hits. You could use EX Fireball, or you could jump over a projectile and quickly get the Denshin install with the down punch and then win on the next fireball thrown. You could try to parry the fireball and move forward. Or, and this is kind of cool, if they're almost in range to jump over your projectile, you can bait them. So what you do is like you throw a normal fireball first, and then you fake them out with a hashogeki, which has less recovery, and you'll be able to anti-air them in time when they jump over what they believe to be a Hadoken. Unfortunately, this demo doesn't have online play, but you can still play against the CPU or offline with people from your local community. Now, if you're new to Street Fighter or fighting games in general, the biggest tip I can give you is try to play with other people. I know it might seem a bit daunting to jump right in, but just as in other games, CPUs do weird things sometimes, and you tend to develop some bad habits if you only play with them. If you can find people to play with, you can learn from each other, and who knows, you might make some new friends along the way. Check out some of the Find Your Local FGC options in the description below this video. And that about wraps it up for this Ryu For Beginners guide for the Street Fighter 6 demo version. If this helped you in any way, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel for more content like this in the future. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section. As always, thanks for watching and have a good one.